Welcome to Glenwood Park. I'm Letitia Headings. I'm here with Sean Clancy, who is a former steeplechase champion and also a current steeplechase owner. Thanks for being with us today, Sean.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Lovely, lovely morning. Nice to get out of the house.
So you have a long and storied history here at Glenwood. Tell us about it.
I was thinking about it driving over here. There's actually a picture of my family in the early 70s. I'm like this tall in a wind picture, and the picture's this way, and I'm turning around staring at the silver bowl. And my mom's reaching for me to try to straighten me out looking at the picture. So that's probably early 70s. And then I came here, my father trained horses, owned horses, so I came here all the way through the 70s. With Dad's horses, Oh What a Chief and Go Gong and Odd Man and these neat old horses. And then I actually rode a pony race here, and that was probably 84 maybe. And then rode races here from 88 to 2000, retired in 2000. And then owned horses subsequently, and always try to point them here. I love coming here.
How many horses do you have in the races today?
So we have two that are drawn in, a horse named 20 Years On, another horse named Lonely Weekend, so I'm excited about running them. Nice horses, nice to get an opportunity. I mean, this year's been so crazy that it's just nice to get a chance to run your horses over a good race course that, that everybody wants to. I mean, this is where you always want to run, so it's lovely to be here.
Tell me about the significance of the 100th year running, even though it's a little bit different than it was going to be. How do you feel?
Oh, it's great. I mean, for me, I turned 50 this year, so you stop and think for a second, you're like, wow, I've been alive for half the Middleburg races. That's kind of cool. Going back to when I was a kid here. I have an 11-year-old son who's not really a racing fan. He goes, he tolerates it, but probably, he's 11 now, probably when he was 7 or so, I said, come on, Miles, you want to go to the races? And he said, is it the one with the rocks? And I said, yeah, the one with the rocks. I'm going, yeah, I'm going. And out the door, and we go, and he climbs on the rocks all day, and I watch the horses run. So, and my father was here when I was a kid, and my father came here with his father, and, I'm sure Doug Fout was in shorts climbing around the rocks and everybody else. In racing, we don't have it's not like you don't mark your life by vacations, you don't mark your life by graduations, you actually mark your life by races. I mean, you look back and say, okay, there's a win picture of my father and I there. There's a picture, so that it's really your whole life in encapsulated by racing, because that's what we did. Every weekend you go racing.
Special bond to share between the generations of your family, I'm sure.
For sure, yeah, exactly.
So tell me why Glenwood Park is such a unique course.
I think it's like what my son said. He's 7 years old, and he found, and Miles has been to he's probably been to 30 different racetracks and race meets, and this place is his favorite. And he recognized that as a very young kid, that he likes to climb on the rocks. And I've seen him, he'll climb on the rocks and the horse will go past. He'll watch the horse and then go climb up the rocks, So it's very much the amphitheater. That it's such a natural amphitheater where you stand up here on the hillside and watch all the horses. It's one of the rare steeplechase meets where you can see the entire race course. A lot of our race meets are going up and down hills behind trees, so this place is just a special place where you can stand there and watch it. I used to always laugh as a jockey, you couldn't make an excuse at Glenwood because everybody saw what happened. You go to other race meets, oh, I got bothered, I got stopped over there, but nobody could see it. Well, here, it's like right there, it's in front of everybody. There's nowhere to hide.
Tell me about why Middleburg is such a special area.
Well, when I travel a lot, when I go to England, people will say, where do you live? And I say, Middleburg, and they'll say, well, what's it like? And I said, it's the closest thing we have to England in America. It's rolling hills, big open air spaces, great fox hunts, great steeplechasing, a little small town with stone buildings. I mean, the Red Fox could be in any town in England when you travel there. You get the little pubs and the little restaurants, and it's the closest thing we have to an old world, English kind of country village.
Why was it important for the Middleburg spring races to start an endowment?
Anybody who's grown up in this area and has had this type, been to Middleburg or ridden horses or anything, it's all tied to the town, the community, all the different riding. You think about other disciplines of riding here, the events and different things. So it's just so It's so important to keep things like this going for all those. It's quality of life, right? I mean, it's just having the quality of life to be able to have a community event and everybody comes out. And I see Miles's school friends are here, and he's seen that, and he's the third or fourth generation Clancy, right? That's coming to the Middleburg, and that's really cool. And that that's something that maybe he'll come here with his kids, and again, quality of life. I mean, that's what's so important in this world.
I was going to ask you, do you think your son, who's 11, Miles, is going to be a legacy steeplechase rider?
No, Miles will not be a steeplechase jockey. He's a real bookworm, very smart, loves baseball, rides. I mean, he fox hunts a little bit, and he rides ponies, and he enjoys it, but I don't think he'll do it, which is fine. As a dad, believe me, that's fine. I'm not pushing it.
He'll keep climbing on the rocks and have some fun.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you have a great race, and good luck.
My pleasure. Thanks for everything you do.